Hello and welcome to Hyperdog Digital. This is Scott. The good people at Lenovo have sent me another toy to take a look at. This is the Lenovo Flex 5, the 15-inch version. This is their new flagship model that came out earlier this year, 2017. You can see here that it's a nice black. It's got a plastic kind of surface to it that is on both the bottom and the top. Not bad. It seems fairly sturdy. I've already bonked it around a few times, and it still seems to work just fine. The one problem I do have is that it does seem to attract fingerprints fairly well. So if that bugs you, you're probably going to be cleaning it a few different times. But other than that, it's not a big deal. It is a 2-in-1, so you can flip the screen around 360 degrees. So let's go ahead and show that there. So you can go ahead and flip it around. It's got a nice big screen with not a lot of edges there. There's a little bit, but it really is pretty good. And again, you can see, or maybe you can't, but there's a lot of fingerprints on here. But that's pretty typical for most of these touchscreen types devices. So again, you can flip it around 360 degrees, use it as a tablet if you want. It comes in at just under 4.5 pounds, so it might be a little heavy to use as a tablet for very long. It'll probably get your arms pretty tired, but of course you can put it in all the other different setups, orientations there, so you can do the tent or the little media stand there. Let's go ahead and flip this guy back over and take a look at some of the ports and everything on the edges. You have your power button right here. You have your SD card reader. Excuse me, let's put that in a little bit better spot for you. USB port, and that's USB 3.0, and then your little deal for locking it to your desk if that's something that you want to do. You have your headphone jack, USB Type-C, another standard USB port, USB 3.0, HDMI indicator light for power, and then of course where you plug in your power adapter right there. Okay, so here is the laptop opened up. You do have your standard full-size keyboard inside here, and it is a backlit keyboard. Works very well. I didn't have any problems. Pretty standard. And then you have a trackpad, a nice large-size trackpad with the buttons, left to right buttons down here. And then of course you can have your different gestures and whatnot that can be used as well. You do also have a fingerprint reader, and I do like this fingerprint reader. It's more like the readers that you have on the back of phones nowadays. So it's not the older type that you got to kind of slide over your finger. It really didn't really work all that well. This one is very fast and works fabulously. This particular laptop, you can see, has got the 15-inch screen, and there's not a lot of bezel on either side. There's a little bit, but it is a very large screen, very bright. The colors are good, and I haven't had really any problems with it or any complaints from my end. It is a touch screen, of course, which is something that I always look for. Any laptop I get now is always going to be a touch screen. Otherwise, I'm going to end up poking the screen anyways, thinking it is a touch screen, so I might as well have one, just so I don't look like a complete idiot. The screen, much like most of these touchscreen laptops, does seem to attract fingerprints as well. So again, if that's something that drives you nuts, you're probably going to have to make sure you have something to clean it off with. This particular laptop that they sent came with 8 GB of RAM and a 7th generation i7 Intel Core processor. And it's running Windows 10, which is pretty much standard for these models. It does start around $630 for the base model, which comes with an i3 processor, and can go all the way up to just under $1,300, and that's with all the bells and whistles. You also get a little pen that you can use for doing writing or art or whatever that you want to use something like that for. Some of the other specs, the display is a 15.6-inch ultra high definition, or you can also get a full high definition, and that comes with the Lenovo Active Pen as well. The camera on here is just a standard HD 720p camera, so you can do video conferencing or Skyping or whatever you want to use that for. the graphics card, you have an option of getting the NVIDIA GeForce GT 940MX or just your standard Intel HD Graphics 620. So obviously if you're looking at playing games on this thing, then you're going to want to get the GeForce card on there. You can get up to 16 gig RAM on here. This one again just came with 8, so it's got about half of what you can get. You have various combinations of storage, including solid state drives and just larger drives to give you as much space as possible. The battery on here is pretty good. It's listed to last up to 8 hours. I haven't had really any problems using it off and on throughout the day, just standard normal usage, and I haven't had to plug it in before the end of the day really, so it seems to run pretty good. We've already gone through the ports, and of course for Wi-Fi it's got an 802.11 AC adapter, so you can get those 5 gigahertz signals on there, which is great. And it does have Bluetooth 4.1. Again, the weight on it is just under 4.5 pounds, and the only color that it comes in is black. Alright, so there you go. That is the Lenovo Flex 5, the 15-inch. This is, again, one of their new models that came out earlier this year. I didn't really put it through its paces too much as far as performance goes. I ran a few applications. Everything ran great. I didn't get any lag out of it at all. But the games that I did run on it ran fabulous. The graphics were great. I was able to turn everything up as high as they could go. But really with these kind of laptops where you can pretty much change every aspect of it, beef it up a little bit more here, beef it up a little bit more there, it's not really worth going through performance with it, because it's going to depend on what you buy and what you put into it. But other than that, I had a lot of fun with this laptop. It worked great, didn't have any problems with it. It's easy to flip it around into its different orientations. The keyboard worked great, the trackpad worked great. It's got plenty of ports for what I need. It's sturdy enough. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but it's really not that bad for a 15-inch kind of mid-range laptop. It's not a gaming laptop, but it's not just a slimline kind of something you're gonna Chromebook or something like that. So it's not meant to be really super light. It's meant to be a workhorse, and it's gonna do that for you. So if you're looking for a really just a solid laptop, this is something you should definitely take a look at. Anything really in the Flex line is going to be a good bet for you. So again, this is the Lenovo Flex 5. Thanks again for joining us here at Hyperdog Digital. Hope to see you again soon. If this video was at all helpful to you, please go ahead and hit that like button or thumbs up wherever it is on the screen, and also subscribe to us, and we'll have a lot more videos coming. And hopefully we'll see you again next time. Thanks a lot.